Hi guys, well, how are you doing guys? I hope that you all are doing fine. Anyway, this is going to be something different. I think about a couple of months back, I could do two sessions, I think, targeting Ielts exams, speaking part. And so I had a kind of a pause for that. Anyway, I thought there are some requests, so let me try that again and give you something, or just share something with you all. Well, today I'm going to discuss you something, especially part one speaking test and on general questions, because the examiners probably might ask you kind of general questions, so targeting them, and then in that they might hope that they might try to guess you, examine your speaking, how your speaking is done, whether it's proper, or whether you do some grammatical errors or things like that. So today I'm gonna talk to you something about food. So the topic which I have chosen today is food. So now you better just see how the questions are formed. Imagine that in the Ielts exam that you would have this kind of a topic, and then the questions are based on these. Well, I would give you the question first and then show you how to give particular answers for them. Right, question number one is like this: what kind of food you like to eat? Imagine that you would have this question based on food. Well, what kind of food do you like to eat? Well, that depends. Probably, sometimes, varieties of food I may prefer. So that depends on the time. And if you don't have any preference, you better say that, I don't have such preference anyway. Whatever I get, I may have. All right? Okay. And then give a simple answer. Don't be that much serious on this. Right. Anyway, is there any food you dislike? Well, of course, I really don't like junk food, and then I prefer to have food, which it is really nutritious, and so that's it. All right. And then, what do you usually eat for your breakfast? All right. So I think it's really a good question. And for my breakfast, of course, I strongly believe that breakfast has to be definitely strong. And so I usually have rice and curry, or with some veggies, and because it must be healthier and stronger as well. So that's my liking. All right. And then the next comes, what did you like to eat as a child? Well, of course, as to my knowledge, I used to have lots of grains, and then, not that serious anyway. Anyway, during my childhood, whatever I had, I got them, and but my preference was for grains. All right? Okay. And then, the next one, do you always eat the same food? All right, so that's also a very good question. I really don't like to have my food, the same kind of food, and I like to have a kind of a change. So for that, I might go find a restaurant or something like that, and then have different kinds of food, because of course that depends on the taste and the cleanliness as well. Okay, and then, what kind of food do people eat out or eat at home? That of course depends from person to person and their likes and dislikes. Sometimes now, with my family, I may have kind of nutritious food, cooked at home. But if I go out also, I give a preference for something which is very healthier. And otherwise, I don't rush into things and then have something which is not really, health concern. All right. And then do you prefer to eat alone or with someone? When it comes to eating alone, I really don't like it, because I prefer to have my meal, sharing probably like with somebody else. So having a meal alone is really boring, and then I don't like it, and so I prefer to have it with somebody else. All right, and then, do you think it's important for people to eat with their families? Of course, I quite agree with that, because I think having a meal together with your family might also enhance your family bonds, and then it also, even though you may not probably think that it would help you like that, but it can directly or indirectly help you to build up your relationship. So in terms of relationships, having a meal together with your family members is rather important. And what do you think the benefits of eating at home? Well, let me tell you, because you may have also heard about food poisoning, and because what we get from outside, we are not sure about. So it's much better to have something at home, which you can trust, and you know how that comes to your table. So, eating at home is really beneficial. All right, guys. Now, you may have heard few questions and some of the answers which I give you in terms of these questions. So I hope that you got a simple idea about how I give you the questions and the answers based on food. All right, and I hope to see you again with a video clip, and then I also request you to subscribe my channel, and then wait for my further videos. Have a great time.